Hey everybody, welcome back to Furniture Flipping Teacher. I'm Lauren and I have been flipping furniture for 4 years now, but I still get questions every single day about whether or not it's still a good thing to start to earn a little bit of extra money or even to turn into a full-time business. So in this video, I am going to be talking about the profits that I have made just in the last 30 days from only selling 3 projects. For the first flip that I sold in the last 30 days, I took this 12-drawer dresser, which was actually in pretty nice shape, but it just needed a little bit of an update as far as the color goes. I got it on Facebook Marketplace for $100, and I got to work by removing the hardware and giving it all a really good clean. It was pretty dusty from sitting in the shop for a while, so it's important to get all of that dust off before starting. Then I removed the drawers and labeled them all, and I even found some goodies behind the insides of the drawers. Next, I started sanding with my Surf Prep sander and scuff sanding to make sure that all of the surface had some tooth, so that way the primer and the paint will really adhere well to it. I did this on the entire surface with a 120 grit, and then I wiped back all of the dust. Next, I applied a clear bonding primer. Again, this is just for more insurance that my paint is really going to stick to this kind of glossy surface. Then I taped some things off and used the color Anchor by Dixie Belle's Silk Mineral Paint and sprayed on with my Wagner Flexio 5000. I wrapped the drawers and inserted them for coat number 2 and 3, and then I lined the drawers with this really pretty drawer liner that I found on Amazon. I don't do this on every project, but sometimes I just like to add a little pop inside the drawer for some fun. Next, I wanted to change up the sheen of the finished piece, so I decided to utilize Dixie Belle's Satin Clear Coat just to kind of give it a little bit more protection, but also to shine it up a bit. Then I installed these antique brass knobs, and here's the final result. My goal for this dresser was to create a timeless look, and I really think that that was achieved with the sleek black finish and the brass knobs. I was really happy with the way that this piece turned out. I think that it really ended up being super timeless. I spent a total of $250 on it, including the purchase of the actual piece itself and all of the materials invested. And then just like a little bit more than a week later, I sold it for $925, which gave me a total profit of $675 on this dresser. For the second flip I sold in the last 30 days, I flipped this vintage Drexel campaign style bedroom set. I bought it for $500, which is a little bit more than I normally spend, but it had really good bones. So I removed all of the hardware and I set it aside to clean up later. Then I cleaned all of the surface with some furniture cleaner, and there was a bit that needed to be filled on the tops and around some of the pieces, so I filled that in with Bondo, and then after that I got to sanding. I sanded down the tops to raw wood because I knew that I was going to go for a dipped look on these pieces. A dipped look basically means that you are dipping the bottom of your furniture into paint and then the top stays wood. So this is oak and it had a little bit of an orangey yellow tone. So I decided to tone that down a little bit with a paint wash. Paint wash is just watered down paint that you apply to the surface and then you wipe it back with a lint-free cloth to give that same wood look, but it kind of takes out those tones. I started to apply a darker stain over the top of the paint wash, but I really didn't like the way that it was looking, so I sanded all of that back and restarted with a new paint wash. Then once that was dry, I taped off all the areas that I did the paint wash on, and I was getting ready to spray the bottom portions with primer. I used Wise Owl's stain blocking primer so that the paint would not have any bleed through. Next, I moved on to making bases for each piece. The bases on these were a little bit outdated, so I decided to update them. For this, I used my Craig pocket hole jig and clamps to screw everything together, and I did this with red oak wood. Next, I did a coat of primer, and then it was time to paint. I used the color Weather Vane from Wise Owl, and this is a 1-hour enamel, so it dried very quickly to a hard, durable finish. Once I got the 2 coats of paint on, I removed the tape and the plastic, removed the old bases, and then attached the bases to the bottom of each piece. The new bases elevate the piece off the ground, as well as give them a little bit more of a modern look. Next was time to clean up the hardware, so I boiled it in some vinegar and scrubbed it with steel wool and Barkeeper's Friend. I applied a top coat to the wood portions of each piece, and then it was time to reassemble. So I got this set for $500 and I ended up spending about $325 in other materials to get this final look. It took me about 3 weeks of having this set on Facebook Marketplace, and then I sold it for full price of $1,950 plus an added $250 delivery fee, giving us a total profit of $1,375. I probably invested over 30 hours on this furniture set, but to me it was so worth it. And when we delivered it to our customers, they were just ecstatic with the way that it looked in their bedroom. I still wish I would have gotten this set for a little bit less, but in the end, it ended up paying off for me. For the last flip I sold in the last 30 days, I flipped this top half of an arched cabinet. I bought the whole cabinet for $180 at an estate sale, but since I'm only flipping half, we'll call it $90. I got to work disassembling all the glass portions of the cabinet so that I could work on it without potentially breaking any of the glass. Then I removed the mirrors from the back that I would be replacing later on. I started off by cutting some wood with my Craig Rip Cut guide and my circular saw so that I could build a base to elevate this cabinet off the ground. Then I took my pocket hole jig and drill and drilled in a whole bunch of pocket holes. My first attempt didn't go as planned, but after changing some measurements up and changing some plans, I was able to get the right shelf to fit. Then I attached it to the arched cabinet and it was elevated off the ground for a more modern look. I started by cleaning up all of the dust that was created from building the shelf, and then it scuff sanded with a 120 grit sandpaper. Then I took my Wagner Flexio 5000 and sprayed on some gray primer in the whole surface. This is going to make sure that my surfaces are all basically the same surface, because we've had oak that is a finished wood and then we have oak that is an unfinished wood on the base. So we just want to match all of those when we are painting. Once that was dry, I sprayed the coat of the custom color that I mixed with collard greens and caviar, which are both chalk paints by Dixie Belle. There was a lot of surface area to cover, so this took a total of 3 coats to apply all of the paint and get full coverage. Next, I wanted to apply a top coat, so I put the satin top coat inside of the Wagner Flexio 5000 and sprayed everywhere with that as well. This is going to give it protection and a little bit of a sheen. Next, I inserted the glass back into the cabinets, and then I installed some new backs to the cabinet. After that, I put the bottom shelf on, and then I installed a new handle and reassembled everything back together. I did end up spending quite a bit of money on this flip up front. So the $90 plus the $350 in wood materials and paint materials ended up with a total cost of $440. So kind of a little bit of a higher cost up front, but I flipped this piece 6 months ago, and finally this month I was able to sell it for $1,100 with an added delivery charge of $250. So this was a piece that I sat on for quite a long time, but I knew that it was worth it, and it actually ended up being the same person that was interested at the very beginning when I first listed it that bought it here 6 months later. Wow, what a crazy month it has been. We had 3 high profit sales giving us a total profit of $2,960, which is crazy to think because I was looking back at some old projects, some old months, and kind of adding different things up. And there was a month where I flipped 12 pieces of furniture and I sold everything for a total profit of somewhere around $2,300 for 12 projects. And here we are selling 3 projects for $2,900. That just goes to show you that like the more work you put into your pieces, the more time you spend on perfecting your craft, the higher quality your work becomes, thus the more confidence you get, thus the higher amounts you're able to sell your pieces for, because you're more confident in the quality and the quality is truly there. So is this still a feasible side hustle or even potential business opportunity in 2024? I think 100% yes. And honestly, now is a great time for you to get started. Summer is just around the corner, which means better weather. And then into the fall, it doesn't get much better than that. When you're able to get outside in your garage and flip furniture, this is the best time of year to start, and people are going to be out and about. They're going to be looking for furniture like this. So what better time to start than now? We've got some links down below in the description where if you are ready to start your flipping journey, whether that is for a side hustle for some extra income, to pay for family vacations, to pay off debts, to pay for a wedding, that is perfect for you. But if you are interested in starting your own business with flipping furniture, maybe you're looking to get out of what you're currently doing, we've also got some more information on that down below in the description. So not only is there opportunity for you to flip pieces for like that you've found and then you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, but there's also an opportunity for you to gain clients that are wanting you to flip furniture for them. Maybe they've already got the piece and they want to bring it to you. I actually have a couple of clients that are going to be bringing me their own furniture within the next couple of months, and that is going to also give me a higher profit in the coming days. I've got a set right behind me that is on the market for a higher price point, but that is all due to me really honing in on my craft and getting better and better over the years. So if you're looking to get started, again, like I said, now is the time, because it takes time to master the craft of flipping furniture, but there's no better time to start than now. So I hope this video encourages you and really shows you the true potential of what furniture flipping can do for you. 3 projects, almost $3,000. It doesn't get much better than that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure and get subscribed down below. And if you are interested in the full length videos of the ones that I talked about here in this video, those will also be linked down below. We'll see you on the flip side.